Hey Anil, how's it
Mitchell,
going?
I'm well. How are you?
Really good. Yeah, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Excellent. I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit. Sweet.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. How you doing?
Can't complain. Still working from home.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I came into the butcher shop today just to give it a bit more atmosphere.
I love it. People can see your products in the back. I think this is
Yeah.
well, it's the same location you spoke to my colleague James from.
Exactly. And if you want a little bit, I can give you guys a little quick tour of the shop
Hey,
if
let's do
there's
it.
any interest. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool. Do you want me to do that now,
Um,
or let's do it like halfway through or towards the end maybe?
Sure, yeah, we'll wait for a
Cool.
few more people to join so they can have a look. So, to anybody joining us, I'm Anil Mall. I represent the Canadian Securities Exchange. And thank you for tuning in to another Instagram Live. Today, I'm talking to Mitchell Scott. Mitchell is the CEO of the Very Good Food Company, who also operates as the Very Good Butchers. And yeah, so you guys founded the company in 2016. Do you want to maybe give a brief breakdown? I know we've talked about this a few times, but for anybody that's joining
Yeah.
um, that might not know what you guys do, just give them a
Yeah.
quick breakdown. But before you jump into that, I'm sure there's going to be quite a few questions that are coming in. There
Okay.
is a comment section that we'll leave open, but there's a question box. If you want to just type them into that there, towards the end of our conversation, I'll make sure to go through all of those with Mitch. And I hope you don't mind me calling you Mitch.
No, no, it's
That's
fine. I
fine,
mean, I
right?
prefer Mitchell, but Mitch is fine. Whatever,
No,
whatever works
I'll
for
do
you.
Mitchell. I said Mitch, and then I was like, wait, it's
Yeah,
Mitchell.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, you guys founded in 2016. Why don't you tell us about the journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you guys the quick kind of 2 minute spiel. So basically, my co-founder goes by his name is James. He was living up on Denman Island, so semi-remote Gulf Island in the Comox Valley, about 1,000 people. He'd been a classically trained French chef, so he'd been cooking for 12, 13 years. Had recently turned plant-based, gone vegan. Kind of missing the taste of meat. He moved to this island. There weren't really any restaurants. He couldn't really, ply his trade. So he had to get a little bit entrepreneurial. So this was probably spring of 2016. And he was looking at the meat alternatives in the market, and he really wasn't happy with a lot of the stuff out there. It was very processed, not a great ingredients list. Basically, he didn't want to feed it to his family. So he thought, you know what? He knows how to cook. He's got this keen understanding of flavor. He decided to try his hand on it, spent a month or two in his kitchen, and came up with two products. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna grab two so you can see the first two
Yeah, yeah, of
products he
course.
created.
To everybody watching, we are going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway towards the end of our conversation with Mitchell. So make sure you stay tuned in for that. I'm sure you won't be disappointed.
Perfect. So yeah, first two products he came up with the Very Good Burgers and the Very British Bangers, basically an English breakfast sausage.
Yeah.
So he took these to the local farmers market on Denman over the summer, and people loved them. They were selling out every weekend within a couple of hours. So they'd spend the week, him and his wife would spend the week making these products in their little house kitchen and selling it at a farmer's market. So that summer, I actually got the chance to try his products at a family barbecue.
Okay.
So my sister is married to James's wife's brother.
Yeah.
So it's a tenuous, I may have mentioned, so it's a tenuous family connection. But anyways, I tried these burgers at a family barbecue and I was blown away. So I'd grown up vegetarian. I'd had a lot of, not very good veggie burgers growing up. I was like, holy cow, these are amazing.
Yeah, I think we've all been in that boat.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, these are great. So I talked to him and said, these are awesome. Let's team up. Let's see where we can take this. My background is kind of in biz dev marketing. I've been working for a Japanese software and games company for about 5 years, a mixture of remote, and was just kind of ready for something new, ready for a change. So we decided to team up. The first thing we did was a Christmas market, actually here in the Victoria Public Market. It's basically like an indoor market with day vendors and some restaurants around the outside. So we showed up with a few coolers full of meat around Christmas time, and once again had a great response. Sold out in 2 days. Had a few hundred people show up. And while we were there, we noticed they had a full-time retail space available. And the market manager came up and was like, "You guys are super popular. You should take one of these spots." And I guess we didn't really know what we were getting into at the time, but we decided to go for it. And then a few months later, we opened the first vegan butcher shop on the west coast of Canada. We had 1,000 people show up on our opening day.
That's
And we
right. I
actually,
remember seeing that on the news.
yeah, and we had to shut down for like a week after that just to restock everything. So since then, we've just been growing, struggling to keep up with demand, scaling up production, and building out this Very Good Butchers brand. And the latest kind of iteration of this is forming the Very Good Food Company, because we were the Very Good Butchers, had these really strong alternative meat brand. Moving forwards, we'd love to get into additional verticals as well. Start the Very Good Cheese Company, just branch out and diversify a bit. So the Very Good Food Company is going to be the kind of umbrella holding company for all these other projects that we were passionate about.
Nice. Yeah, I would definitely say anybody that's local or is visiting Victoria, definitely go visit Mitchell at the Very Good Butchers.
Very Good Butchers, yeah.
Very Good Butchers.
Yeah, so we're in the Victoria Public Market, kind of just up from Chinatown.
Got it. I'm sure I'll pay you a visit. Probably in a few weeks, because during this COVID period, we're all sort of stuck traveling locally, but Victoria is a great location. So how long have you guys been in the public market now?
So yeah, I guess it's three and a half years now. We started it just at the front of this very small shop. We're retail only. So we make everything up on Denman Island. It's like a 5-hour round trip. So we do that twice a week to get more product. After about 8 months, we moved into the spot we're in now. So we did a Kickstarter campaign, raised some funds, moved into this spot, expanded our product offering. The concept is similar to that of a traditional butcher shop. So you come in, you get your meats, your cheeses. We slice them up by the 100 grams. Everything is plant-based, 100% vegan. Then we also have a quick service restaurant attached to it, which basically highlights our product offering and is kind of like a marketing tool for our brand. So that's vegan comfort food. It's burgers, it's deli sandwiches, it's poutines, mac and cheese. Basically, we're just trying to show that plant-based eating is delicious, it's approachable, it's familiar, and just, convert people.
Yeah, I was actually looking before we chatted. Obviously, I haven't been to your location in person, but I was looking up some YouTube reviews and things like that. Man, your food looks delicious. You can't even tell that if you put it in front of someone, there's no way they would be able to tell.
Yeah, thank you.
And just, the how much the people really enjoy it. That's the best part. Yeah,
we've been really lucky, like with the whole community here. They've really kind of supported us since day one. And I think that's part of the vegan and plant-based community. If they find something they like, there's not a ton of, especially a few years ago, there wasn't a ton of different options available. So they find something they like, they're going to tell their friends, and it's really going to help amplify that.
100%. And like I was mentioning to our audience, towards the end of our conversation, we will be announcing a small giveaway on behalf of the CSE. So please stay tuned in for that. To anybody that's recently joining us, I'm talking to Mitchell Scott. Mitchell is the CEO of the Very Good Food Company that also operates as the Very Good Butchers, and he is currently joining us from his location in Victoria at the public market. I know you wanted to give us a quick little tour. Do you want to go ahead and do that?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I'll walk out to the front, and then you know what? I might try. Should I flip the camera? I'll flip the camera. Sweet. I'll. Perfect. So there you've got the entrance. This is the full market here.
Yeah.
And down there. So you come in, we've got some merch. This is our selection. This is so a lot of cheeses in here from some local producers. Also got some of our meats. I'll just quickly give you guys a quick overview. So we got our bacon there, our steak, ribs, taco stuffer, like you see, barbecue jackfruit, pepperoni, smoking bangers and smoking burgers, like a chorizo style. Very British banger, very good burgers. This case, we've got some more of our prepared stuff. So we've got mac and cheese, we've got sausage rolls, got some more meats, cheesecakes, and then I'll give you guys a quick little tour behind the scenes, I guess. So this is our kitchen here where we produce everything. Say hi to the kitchen team. We got Kyle, Tasha, Mac over there in the back.
Hey Kyle, hey Tasha.
They can't hear you, but they said hi. Little prep kitchen in the back here. Got a walk-in fridge, walk-in freezer. Upstairs we got a little office, a little bit messy right now. I won't show you guys that, but office and storage space. And yeah, so that's the operation here. During COVID we pivoted, so it's a lot more delivery. delivery, like skip the dishes, takeout, open reduced hours, so 11 to 6 now. But yeah, it's been good. It's really, we're noticing it's starting to rebound. It was pretty slow for a few months, but we kind of made up for that in much heavily increased online sales and also grocery store sales.
Yeah, it's great being able to pivot that way. And thank you so much for the virtual tour.
Yeah, no worries.
Of course, felt like a VIP then.
Yeah.
So you guys launched a successful IPO.
Yeah.
You've only been listed for just about a month. I think it'll be a month tomorrow.
Yeah.
And how has that experience been? What have you and your team learned in this obviously lengthy process of listing, but now trading for a month?
Yeah, it's been a big learning curve, and I think like when we probably first started on this path a year or so ago, and then we were getting ready for the IPO, and then COVID hit and kind of threw all those plans out of whack and pushed it back by a few months. But I mean, overall, I'm really happy that we went through this whole process and we're a publicly traded company. At the time, we're talking to a lot of people, and a lot of people, especially in the food industry, you don't see a lot of companies going public. The play is usually remain private, maybe take on some venture capital, scale privately, like that. So we had a lot of people kind of advising against it, a few people advising for it. But I think the thing that I'm most happy about is that a lot of IPOs, institutional investors are going to make their money first, right? For us, it was the complete opposite. So because we'd done this front funder campaign, we'd raised about $600,000 from 250 people across Canada. So those were a lot of them were our customers, our fans, our supporters. And they converted at around 12 or 13 cents, with the IPO pricing being 25 cents. So that probably is what I'm most proud and happy of, is that all our customer supporters, like my friends and family, just had a really great experience supporting us throughout the past 3 years, but also throughout the IPO as well.
Absolutely, as an entrepreneur, that satisfaction is unmatched or unbeaten, I should say. Being able to provide that shareholder value, and these are the people that are going to follow you along for the rest of your journey throughout your
absolutely. And those are the people that lined up on day one, that have subscribed to our monthly meet club, that have really just been here for us since the beginning. So that we're really happy about that.
Have you guys noticed subscriptions and orders obviously going up since launch?
Yeah,
since going public.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of interest. A lot of the grocery stores have been good. I mean, it's all been kind of big anyways over the past 3 months. I mean, partially due to COVID, partially due to some new marketing partnerships and stuff. So it's hard to see exactly what kind of an impact the IPO had. Definitely in terms of people emailing me, it's gone up a lot.
Now they have access to you.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, love talking to people, but it has definitely been a challenge kind of trying to keep on top of everything. And because, I mean, running a public company is almost like I'm trying to stay super focused on our day-to-day operations and scaling production, all those really key things. But that whole managing the public component is almost another full-time job in and of itself.
Absolutely. Now, being in Victoria, obviously this time of the season, there's a lot of visitors coming from the U.S. Not so much right now, obviously, or not at all right now. But I know you guys recently announced plans to expand into the U.S. You want to talk to us about that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say too much about it until we make a more of an official announcement. But we did just close another round of financing. Raised just over $8 million. It'll be almost 14 or 15 once the warrants come in for that, and that is to fund a bigger expansion for us. We should hopefully have an announcement in the next few weeks with more specifics. But for us, it kind of the west coast of the States makes perfect sense for us, just in terms of it's closer to us. In terms of the customer base there, we're already shipping a ton of e-commerce direct-to-consumer boxes there. And we're shipping them via DHL airmail, so it's expensive. So it really does make sense for us to get set up there as quickly as we can. That being said, we're also still working hard on the Vancouver facility on that expansion and expanding east into Canada. But if we have the opportunity to expand in kind of two directions at once, we're going to take that opportunity and make sure we build out the team to support that kind of an expansion.
No, that's a perfect outlook. What about your current capacity then? I would imagine with all of this sort of interest that you guys are getting and the orders flowing in, what are your plans to improve current capacity in the locations that you have right now?
Yeah, so right now we have the production facility in Victoria. It's about 4,000 square feet. We're not quite at full capacity. There's been a few kind of outstanding issues. One of them, it's an old building, so we're at the max power capacity for the building. So that was just about a 2 or 3 month process with BC Hydro to get them to put new lines in and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be done in about 2 weeks. As soon as that's done, we're installing a new steamer. We're getting a new bigger mixer in. We should be able, I'm hoping we can double our production capacity again. We also, about 2 months ago, we put in a night shift. So we've got people working from about 7 in the morning till 11 at night.
Oh, nice.
Another step we can take is we put in like a graveyard shift. So we have people working till 4, and then we kind of clean for a few hours and then start again at 7. So that's something we're looking at as well. We're also, we've recently hired a director of engineering and process operations. So that's Olga, I think we announced that. So she's taking a very close look at our current processes, how we can be more efficient, little tweaks, new equipment, etc. Because we are constrained with our footprint. But if we can properly batch and plan and optimize the process, we should really be able to significantly scale production again here in Victoria. I mean, we've come a long way since we've been in there for just over a year. So I'm really happy with all the progress we've made, but we still have a ways to go.
Perfect. To anybody joining us recently, I'm talking to Mitchell Scott, who's the CEO of the Very Good Butchers and operates, sorry, the Very Good Food Company operating as the Very Good Butchers. And if you find this content informative, CSE TV on YouTube is the channel that you should be subscribed to. Always make sure that if you have any questions, you're typing them into the comment section or even the question box that's been provided below. We'll get through all of these questions, or at least most of them, as many as we can towards the end of our conversation. Mitchell, there's been obviously a significant increase in you recently announced this as well, in your distribution network.
Yeah.
I know that there's been a few questions, and I see them coming in about shipping times and things like that. I would imagine you and your team are on top of it. What message do you have for anybody viewing that has ordered and is waiting for it?
Yeah. So the big delay is on our direct consumer orders. We're looking at 4 to 5 weeks potentially from the point of order till when it actually gets out to the customer. And there's been a few things that have kind of been resulting in that. So obviously we've had a huge increase in orders. Canada Post has really extended their delivery timeline, so we've had to change shipping carriers to Pure Later for Canadian orders. And we're just basically, the thing is, like, we're out of freezer capacity in Victoria. So, you know, Friday we start packing up orders. End of the day, Sunday, there's 1,000 boxes in that freezer, and there's no more room for boxes. Monday morning, Pure Later shows up with a giant truck, and they put 3, 4, 5 pallets onto it, and those go out. Wow. So it's great, but obviously we need to be producing more. We need to be getting more boxes out. We are working on a few solutions to that. We'll have an announcement shortly, but it's basically we'll be getting support on the logistics side. So on actually packaging up boxes and shipping them out, where the plan is to have a few different hubs where we ship product out of. And then the second piece of that is scaling up our production. But it's basically been kind of a juggling act since the beginning, because we want to build our wholesale program, we want to build our direct-to-consumer program. At the same time, the butcher shop here needs products, so we're kind of juggling and trying to keep everybody happy. And it just resulted in some delays for the direct-to-consumer orders. We do communicate those very clearly up front. And if anyone has an issue, I mean, we're more than happy to offer a refund. But that being said, we are working to bring that shipping down time to a week or less.
I really don't think refunds would play, because you've got such a loyal following. I mean, you're taking a look at some of your social media accounts or even your YouTube. You know, people really feel for your product. I mean, you know, not only is it doing good for the environment and earth, but it's also, you know, cruelty-free. People really believe in it. So I just wanted for them to hear it from you on that. You know, these are concerns. They're genuine, and that you guys and your team are working on it. I know you gave us a little bit of a tour. You showed me some of your products. What products do you, or what one product do you find is getting the most traction? Like everybody wants it.
Yeah, in terms of, so we currently have 5 core products for retail. So 2 types of burgers, 2 types of sausage, and our taco stuffer. And then we have a few more that we sell online and in the butcher shop. My personal favorite is probably the pepperoni, so the Adzuki bean pepperoni. The ribs are also very popular, just because they're kind of a unique product. Like a lot of companies have a burger and a sausage. You know, there's not many that have, you know, a ribs or a pepperoni or a steak.
Yes.
So those, I think the pepperoni and the ribs are some of the most kind of popular ones. Out of the core product, I think the one that surprises people the most is the taco stuffer, just how good it is. Yeah.
Got it. And what about in your prepared foods? What's one thing that you can't keep stocked?
Yeah, so a few different things. One ticket item is our collie wings. It's
collie wings.
Collie wings, yeah. Very, very popular. And then we have a few different burgers. My favorite's the Cascadia burger. So it's got our bacon jam, avocado, and then a very good patty on it. And then we also have a chicken burger called the Cluck and A, which is super popular as well. Kind of like the McChicken, but, you know, a little bit meatier.
I know all this food meat talk is probably getting people hungry. It's close to lunch hour here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
The Canadian Securities Exchange will be doing a meat giveaway. So we are going to give away the first 3 people. The first 3 people that go to CSE TV on YouTube and hit subscribe and email your screenshot of you subscribed to media@thecse.com. Again, that's media@thecse.com. The first 3 people to send us a screenshot of you subscribe to our channel will receive some swag. So first prize is going to be the Very Good barbecue box. We're going to give one of those away. It has a pack of Very Good burgers, has a pack of smoking burgers, Very British bangers, smoking bangers, and a pack of ribs, 2 packs of ribs, 2 packs of steak. As well, second and third place can pick between your choice. We're going to let you pick between a hat and a t-shirt. So first 3 people to go to CSE TV on YouTube and hit subscribe will get some goodies coming their way. First place, I hope you enjoy your barbecue or wherever you decide to cook and eat this.
I'm headed to YouTube right now.
Well, you probably can just go in the back and cook up whatever you want.
Eh? Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about your audience. So obviously, since going public, actually even before, you know, you guys had the front funder campaign and a bunch. So I would imagine there's a lot of people finding out about your company as well as your products. Has there been any surprising audience that you didn't expect that would be gravitating towards your products?
I think one of the biggest things is, like, I mean, some people would assume that, you know, only vegetarians or vegans eat here. What we've found is that like 40% of the people that come into the butcher shop or order online, they're not necessarily, you know, plant-based. They've just heard we've got good food, or they're looking to reduce their meat consumption, or, you know, try a meatless Monday or something. And then they come here and, you know, for the most part, they're pleasantly surprised. So I think that is maybe somewhat surprising. I'm not surprised, but it might be surprising to some people.
Well, the reason why I bring that up is, you know, obviously there's a lot of people, different religious sects, for whatever reason they choose, or let's talk about these religious sects that, you know, for whatever reason, or for their reasons, they choose to stay vegetarian and not eat meat. Yeah. Are you guys strategizing to market to those guys?
Not yet. I think what we're trying to do is be as familiar and approachable as possible. So not be super judgmental. Don't push an agenda down everyone's throat. Just provide, like, a lot of people are comfortable with the idea of a butcher shop and they know what to expect when they get in there. So we want to present that both in store and online. And we, at this point, we're not super discerning on who we sell to. Like, we want to provide a great experience and a great product for anyone that's interested.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that demographic will eventually organically find out about your products and you know, naturally want to try them. Let's talk about your YouTube channel.
Okay.
So you guys have a YouTube channel. You're putting tutorials on how to cook your products.
Yeah. So I mean, for us, since the beginning, we haven't really spent a lot on marketing. So we've done a lot of organic social media. So it's been Facebook and Instagram for the most part. Twitter and YouTube have kind of been secondary. More recently, we did come up with some tutorials for YouTube. What we found was a lot of people would be asking us, like, how do I cook a sausage or how do I do this? And it is super easy, but we figured we'd make a fun little video, post it up along with instructions for anyone that might be interested in. So yeah, we have some content on our YouTube. It hasn't been a huge focus yet, but expect more in the coming kind of months.
Yeah, I find it really interesting because you know, it's showing people different recipes and you know, kind of just getting them more comfortable with your product and handling it and cooking and eating it. So obviously you mentioned earlier that your social media stuff has been organic. So like all these reviews, because there's a ton of people, influencers reviewing your products online on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's all been organic.
Yeah, so what we'll do occasionally with an influencer, they'll reach out and say, you know, I've got a bunch of followers or whatever, and can I have a free box? And we'll say absolutely. Or if we notice someone that follows us, we'll send them a box. But like, there's a few big ones out of Vancouver who have kind of been interested in us since the beginning, like Jillian Harris, like Aaron Ireland. They both got, you know, huge followings, and they kind of just found us at like a local vegan event. We were there with our barbecue, and they loved it, and you know, took pictures and posted it. So a lot of that has been organic. I mean, moving forward, I expect us to do more direct influencer outreach. But over the past 3 years, it's been, for the most part, it hasn't been super targeted. We're not, you know, paying people for reviews. Sometimes we'll pay if they want to like make some recipes and stuff for us. We've done that once or twice. But for the most part, it's been very largely organic.
There's a lot of reviews online, and you know, obviously, they're great reviews because. As someone like myself who hasn't been to your location or has not tried it, gives me a nice little inside look on what I can look out for in the coming weeks.
Absolutely. And that a lot of the reviews on the website are from customers who purchase it. So they purchase a box from us, we ship it out to them. A few weeks later, we ask them for a review. And most of them, well, not most of them, but you know, quite a few of them leave reviews, and we've shipped so many boxes. You're right. So
absolutely. So our audience is actually very prompt. Thank you guys for rushing to the CSE TV YouTube channel and subscribing. And I guess the votes are in. Justin Manning, you get the barbecue box. Congratulations. I hope you enjoyed.
Oh, he was on it.
Raymond, Anita, and Joey. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly, Joey. It's Joey Boyes. You guys get a pick between a hat and a t-shirt. If you prefer gift cards instead, let us know. Mitchell has let me know that they do have gift cards. We can always send you dollar value. So it's $65 for the very good barbecue box and $25 each for second and third place. If you don't want a hat or a t-shirt and you want to use those to get get some product instead, feel free and let us know. media@thecse.com is the email address where you can reach out to us. And again, please feel free and follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. We're available on all social media channels, especially YouTube. This content and interview here will also be reposted to CSE TV on YouTube. So if you do want to share it with anybody that might have missed it, it's available there. And it'll also be available on our Instagram where you are watching it currently. Let's maybe try and get through some questions.
Yeah, let's dive into them.
Let me see what we've got. All right, so it looks like nobody typed into the question box like we had prompted, but I'll just scroll through the comments here. I apologize if my face is so close.
I did see one kind of scrolling by, just kind of a 3 to 5 year plan. I'm happy to address that one if that makes sense.
Yeah, please do.
Awesome. So, I mean, currently we kind of have almost three lines of business. So that's wholesale retail. So that's, you know, grocery stores, restaurants. That's our online direct-to-consumer business. And then there's our retail butcher shop. We see the retail butcher shop as more of a marketing branding tool. Long-term, we could see ourselves rolling out like flagship stores. So maybe set one up in Toronto, Montreal, New York, LA, Seattle. So I have a handful of these flagship stores which kind of help grow the brand and support our local efforts. And then roll out large-scale wholesale retail, starting with independents, chains like Whole Foods, and then also support that with, you know, direct-to-consumer across North America. So that's the big plan for the next kind of 1 to 2 years. After that, we want to take that same model and put it into Europe, put it into Asia, Australia. So basically go there, set up manufacturing or partner for manufacturing, and then roll out a direct-to-consumer online presence, start rolling out wholesale, and then maybe support it with a flagship location as well. So we are planning to be an international brand. This is for the Very Good Butchers. For the Very Good Food Company, the longer-term strategy is to either create or acquire really cool brands in other verticals that match our kind of ethos. So high quality products, plant-based, artisan. So I could see us doing like a Very Good Cheese Co. Or getting into other kind of plant-based products and having a portfolio of 5 or 10 really cool, strong brands. So that's kind of our vision for the next few years. Were there any other questions that came in?
Frank, thank you so much for that question.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a lot of questions that we have already addressed, so I won't go through those again. But there are a lot of positive comments and congratulations to you and your team that are there. So
awesome.
I definitely want to let you know.
I just saw a few about Vancouver expansion, so I can address those as well.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. Yeah, so we've signed a lease on a space in Vancouver. It's in Mount Pleasant. It's 10,000 square feet. It's going to be combined use, so it's going to be about 7,000 feet of production. It's going to be a butcher shop, restaurant, test kitchen, R&D lab. It's basically going to be a headquarters for us. It's a really cool building. And timeline is Q2 of next year. So we're still going through the building and the permitting phase. It was delayed a little bit to COVID, but it is still on track. And we'll provide more updates with those as they're available. But yeah, it's going to be a really, really cool space.
I look forward to that because then you guys will be closer to me.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question. I know that one came in from Fomino, Pomo, and Will. So I hope that was kind of going through that. Mitchell, I wanted to pick your brain a bit. So I'm sure everybody has heard this. Justin Trudeau, our Prime Minister, made an announcement on behalf of the Canadian government, a massive investment of $100 million into the plant-based space. But I think that whole investment goes towards one company, Merit Functional Foods. What are your thoughts on that? Do you want to comment on that?
I think it's great. So they announced a plant-based supercluster probably about a year or so ago, and I don't want to say what, I think it was like 350 million. That might be completely wrong, but it was a large supercluster. And then this Protein Industries Canada was set up to kind of disperse that. And I believe this is what that 100 million was for. 100 million of that, whatever it was, it might have been even closer to $1 billion. And I know, so they're based in Saskatchewan. I think their focus very much is on supporting farmers and like value-added processing on these raw ingredients. But I think it's great that the government is finally seeing kind of value in this and is supporting it. I mean, because they've subsidized the meat and dairy industry for since they started, and I really think they should start subsidizing and helping out these plant-based companies and helping them get to a point where it's cheaper to produce plant-based protein than meat, because it should be. It just needs that investment in scale up.
Got it. Thank you for that insight. I mean, it's always good to hear what individuals like yourself who are let's say knee deep in this industry, what your thoughts are, and how this will help you grow and your team grow your business. There is a question that came in right now. Beyond Meat just announced expansion into Brazil and Europe recently. After the US and Canada, are you guys looking at any locations?
Yeah, so I actually addressed that a few minutes ago. But so next spot is absolutely Europe. I don't know if maybe it's UK, maybe it's Germany, both kind of hot spots for plant-based food. And then kind of Asia, Australia would be the kind of second target for us. And so, as I said before, next kind of at least 1 to 2 years really focused on North America. And then after that, Europe and Asia.
Beyond. There are some questions that are coming in. This is probably not the right platform, but where can anybody reach out to you if they do have questions about your numbers and financials and things of that nature?
Yeah, so we have an email. So it's invest@verygoodbutchers.com is probably the best place. for kind of, investor type related questions. I mean, feel free to message us on Facebook or Instagram as well. But if you send it to invest, either myself or our corporate communications guy, we'll have it and we'll be able to get you an answer.
Do you guys still have that partnership with the Dragons?
Yeah. So what happened with Dragon's Den? Obviously, we had a great result on TV. We had offers from 5 of the 6 Dragons. We did a handshake deal for $750K plus $1 million interest-free loan with Lane and Michelle. Unfortunately, kind of, we had the handshake deal. After the fact, the deal didn't end up going through, which is apparently quite common. Like something like 80% of Dragons deals don't end up going through. So they came back to us and they offered something kind of a lot less than what we discussed on TV. So we decided to walk away from it, and we raised money on the same terms that we'd originally agreed upon by a front funder.
Got it. Thanks for that breakdown. I think there is a question, and I was trying to look up the question, but I ended up flipping my camera. So to anybody that got their view, enjoy it. So this interview will be available in a short little while on Instagram. If anybody misses it or wants to share it, it will be available on the CSE Canadian Exchange Instagram account. Mitchell, I'll share it with you as well.
Yeah.
And again, the content is also available. There was someone asking if it's going to be recorded and available at a later date. It will be available on CSE TV on YouTube. Again, I want to thank 3 of our participants today who got lucky. Justin, who won the Very Good Barbecue Pack, and the other 2 that got some either a gift certificate or a hat or a t-shirt, whatever they prefer. I want to thank everybody for watching. I'm going to leave the floor with you, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Obviously the people are here to hear from you. Why don't you give them a little message?
Yeah, I mean, I've just got 2 more questions I'll quickly address, and then I'll wrap it up. I was just
for sure. I apologize. I don't know how I keep missing them.
No worries. So it's just about the retail space in Vancouver. Absolutely. So it's going to be similar to what we have in Victoria. So butcher shop, restaurant, test kitchen. So a really great place for us to showcase our new products and dishes. And so it's right in Mount Pleasant, kind of near the Whole Foods on Cambie, the Big Rock Brewery there. So it's going to be a really cool space. Planning to have a patio outside as well, liquor license. And it's kind of going to be like a brew pub. So, you go in, you got the big glass walls. You can see people in the back making the products. So that'll be really neat. Other question was about dilution of shares. Yes, we're absolutely going to be careful. This most recent raise kind of gives us enough capital to really expand in these kind of few areas we're focused on. So I wouldn't expect us to be raising again for, a while. And we're absolutely going to be careful around dilution. Any other questions? Looks good. So
yeah, it looks good. To our audience members, I apologize for missing your questions. Mitchell, thank you so much for going through them and being so upfront about answering these questions. That definitely helps build confidence in yourself, your team, your company. Later on today, actually happening very shortly, the CSE is also hosting virtual industry update. It's a partnership with Aaron Burles, which is a law firm, and MNP. It's Tech Strikes Back. If you take a look at the CSE website, you can find the link to watch it. If you're interested in tech-based companies and what's happening in the industry, it's something that you do not want to miss. Mitchell, I think we've been through a lot today. Thank you so much for the tour, your insight into the industry and talking to us about what your team has accomplished over this little time. Best of success to you and your team.
Thank you.
And I look forward to not only ordering your product and eating it. I can say this will be the first plant-based meat product I'm going to be trying.
Oh, awesome! Cool.
So I definitely will be happy with that. I mean, just from watching the reviews, made me want to try it. So I'll definitely do that. To our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, CSE TV on YouTube is the channel that you'd want to subscribe to if you're interested in this content. Mitchell, I look forward to hosting you in the next, I think we've had you on the podcast, but in the next little while, watching your company grow, and we can talk to the audience members about what you guys have built. Yeah,
absolutely. And so I guess just the final message is we are just kind of getting started. I mean, yes, we've been around for 3.5 years, we finally really have the capital we need to kind of realize all these plans and dreams. And we are very committed. We've got big plans. And yeah, we're just getting started. And we're really excited to have everyone on board and joining us. So yeah, thank you very much, and appreciate the opportunity.
Of course, Mitchell. Why don't you sign off with where our audience can find you, not only on social media but also in person if they want to visit?
Absolutely. So we're the Very Good Butchers on Facebook and Instagram. That's probably the best place to find us. We're in the Victoria Public Market with our little butcher shop, 1701 Douglas Street. Currently open Monday to Friday, 11 to 6. Our website, www.verygoodbutchers.com. Those are the best places to find us.
Perfect. Thank you once again, Mitchell. Best of success again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Perfect. Thanks, Anil. I really appreciate it. All right, have a good one.
Yeah, bye.